Hey guys, for this video, we're going to be focusing on how to test Command Runner, how to leverage it, and so it'll help you understand whether or not your parser scripts are working properly, simulated in your environment before you push it out and contribute code. This way, it helps you identify if you're running into any errors or bugs with your code, or if you need to fix it, or if it's good to go. So for this session, we're going to focus on something I'm very familiar with now, is with the F5 LTM. So this script was actually provided by one of our knowledge experts around F5. The essence of the script is to determine if there's any sort of weak ciphers that are being utilized for client traffic. Now, as you can see, the parser itself can be very, very complicated, but that's not the point of today's session. The point is to really determine if we can create and generate and determine if the script was working properly. And to do that, in order to run this script, we're going to need to get an input file. How do you get that input file? It's very simple. Obviously, you knew the command when you were writing the script to determine how you're going to get the output. All we're going to do is run that command on the device so that we can get the output itself. Right now, I'm SSH into the F5 device that we're testing. I'm going to go ahead and parse it and then get this input file. Now, it's quite a big of an input file, and that's okay. All we want to do is copy paste everything in terms of the raw output that you find on this device based on the command. So I believe it's up to here. Press copy. Then you go ahead and open a new file. Go ahead and add all the values and make sure that when you and that's going to be your input file, by the way. But make sure that when you save the input file, save it as the underlying Indeni script name, and then change the file ending to .input. So if I could find it right now really quick, I believe it is going to be this one, profile client SSL recursive .ind. Instead, you're going to want to go ahead and provide it a .input file. That's how Command Runner, which is really a simulation of the Indeni knowledge platform, that's how it's going to recognize what's the input file, what it's going to read in terms of the raw data output. Now, let's go ahead and simulate it. You now have the IND script. You now have the raw data output saved as the input file. I'm going to go ahead and simulate it by running Command Runner sh. We're gonna indicate to it that it's parse only. We're gonna give it the IND script that it should be running. In order to do that, make sure that you're gonna be in the directory that that the script is in. So for me, it's gonna be under user Charles Kim desktop testing parsers, F5, LTM, Tmosh. Profile, client. Okay. So now I've provided the IND script, and in order to invoke and determine what where the source file is for the raw data output, you're gonna type in -f space. And then you provide it the data output. If you don't want to type the entire directory of where the IND script is, the best way to do this is simply navigate quickly into the directory by doing cd. Now all you have to do is go ahead and invoke it parse only. And if you press tab, you can see all the scripts that are in here. We'll do Tmosh, LTM, so IND. Now, as you can see, I already have an output file for that. Well, let's go ahead and remove it so that we can determine if whether or not we generate the accurate output file. So now, as you can see, there's only the IND script and the input file. If you if you type in -F, you'll determine that it'll be running the IND script from this input file. Once you type it in, you can go ahead and press enter, and now the command runner is running its simulation. It's going to leverage the libraries that we have in place for the Indeni knowledge platform and determine if it can leverage its underlying libraries to generate a metric. If it works, it should tell you command output found for metrics, or the number of metrics that you've created in your IND script. And it should be provided in an output file, which you'll be able to quickly find out here in the Sublime text. Now, let's say, for example, the IND script is wrong, and you want to see if you get an error. Let's go ahead and simulate that real quick. Let's delete this file, go to the IND script, and let's just throw a wrench in the machine and add some values that we shouldn't be. Let's say, for example, you wrote some code and it doesn't look like it'll run through the machine. We'll go ahead and simulate that real quick by saving this IND script. And let's see how it goes. Let's see what happens. You can press up to quickly pull up your previous command. And if all goes wrong, we should be immediately able to determine that the output failed and that the parser failed. So as you can see here, you'll notice that there was a failure to parse the available input file. And if you scroll all the way to the top, you'll see where exactly the parser failed to run. So if you go all the way here, I was going to say starting command runner, it's about to run parse only for this IND script with this input file. It's reading the input file, it's compiling the script, it's trying to run the script. And then you'll see that there was a parse error, and it'll tell you where the command failed with the input. So that's it for today, guys. If you have any questions, please post it on the forums. Thank you.